Broadcasting from Studio 300 on Cal Poly's campus, you're watching Mustang News.
Good morning, Mustangs. Today is Wednesday, January 29th. I'm Ashley DeVrend, and Mustang News starts now. A fire broke out in an apartment complex near campus on Monday night. The fire started at about 7:30 in Foothill Gardens apartment. Agriculture and Environmental Plant Sciences junior Marissa Lim was in the apartment when the fire broke out in the kitchen.
I was trying to fry chicken and I was boiling oil, and when I put the chicken in, the flames or the oil splashed out and the burner caught fire, and I couldn't turn off the stove or remove it from the fire, so I called 911.
The San Luis Obispo Police Department, Fire Department, and CAL FIRE all responded to the fire. There were no reported injuries at the time. The Central Coast is famous for its sunny skies, beaches, college culture, and endless shops for tourists. But those aren't the only things that attract people to the Central Coast. Events such as Mardi Gras, Cesar Chavez Day, St. Patrick's Day, and 4th of July are holidays when the Central Coast sees most of its out-of-town visitors. San Luis Obispo Police Captain Chris Staley says that out-of-towners are a big cause of disruption during San Luis Obispo events.
A lot of the people we communicate with and that we actually arrest were from out of town and not necessarily from either living locally or attending college here locally.
Captain Staley says that during these time frames, fines are doubled and the department initiates what is called a max deployment, where any and all available officers are placed on duty and are out patrolling the streets. If you want to know which classes are being offered next quarter, look no further. Pass for spring quarter opens at 8 a.m. today. Priority registration begins on Wednesday, February 12th at 8 a.m. Pre-selected seniors will also receive priority registration for spring quarter. A Cal Poly freshman has created an app with more than 300,000 users worldwide. Cameron Olson has created 7 apps with his friend Anthony Basta under the company Rumble Apps. Olson created Rumble Apps with Basta in the 9th grade, and they have been creating apps that generate users worldwide ever since.
So the first step of the process really that I think is the idea, which we think is kind of the hardest part, because there are so many apps in the App Store, so it's kind of a diluted market.
Their current most popular app, Paper Helper, allows users to research and write a paper in the same window on an iPad. Users can seamlessly switch between the document writer and web browser window or have both open at the same time. Olson also co-created VidBit, which is a mobile video sharing app that gained more than 2 million users in 2 weeks, but decreased in popularity when Snapchat added a video feature. You can find both apps in the App Store. This is now the 3rd winter the Cal Poly Recreation Center has been open to students, but students are not enjoying one of the center's most popular attractions this winter quarter. Brianna Whitney finds out why.
I feel like our tuition money, part of it is going to the rec center, and I like to lay out and tan, and I also like to swim.
It's 80 degrees and students are exercising in the lap pool, but take a look at the other side. The leisure pool is a completely different picture.
And we didn't have any closures those first 2 winters, and it felt like a big waste of money. We had a couple of weeks even where we only had a handful of people the entire week.
Aquatics and Safety Coordinator Staley McCartney says that lack of use prompted the close for winter quarter.
And I understand if it is bad weather, but since we've been back winter quarter, it's been 80s.
And with record sunshine, it seems the Recreation Center would make an exception for a winter that feels like summer. But it isn't a simple process.
It really needs to be at least a 2-week opening. Staffing isn't an issue, but chemical heating and heating up the pool is the issue for that, because it takes at least 2 to 3 days to heat up the pool enough.
Of course, Avila and Pismo Beach are only a quick drive down Highway 101, but students say it's the leisure pool's convenience that makes it ideal for taking that quick dip.
It's closer, it's walking distance. That's like one of the main benefits.
But if you've been planning on soaking up the rays in the pool during springtime, you're still in luck.
Yes, oh yes. Spring quarter, we are open for sure, because that is our busiest time.
Brianna Whitney, Mustang News.
Now the leisure pool is open some Thursdays through Sundays this quarter, depending on whether the Recreation Center staff deems the weather good enough. McCartney also says she encourages students to fill out the comments and suggestion forms in the rec center, and if enough students express opinions about reopening the leisure pool for this quarter, that would be considered. Now let's take a look at today's weather forecast. We have a High of 74 degrees, a low of 57. It's going to be a sunny day with winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Can't complain, it's still January. We're going to see increased cloud coverage later in the day. Thanks for watching today's Mustang News. You can find constant broadcast coverage at mustangnews.net. You can also find our weekly half-hour broadcasts on Charter Channel 19, Campus Channel 2, and UHTV Channel 7. Have a great rest of your day, Cal Poly.